What's going on, everybody? We are back with another RNG interview. This time we have a very special interview on hand. We have one of the current 2024 Miami commits who recently signed to the school in the early signing day period. Um, I'm excited as hell to have this guy on the edge. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to give you guys the full, spiel so you can guess who it is, but man, this is an edge rusher who has set historic numbers in the state that he's coming from to come play for the University of Miami. His burst off the snap is just absolutely incredible. His motor is unbelievable. His IQ on the field is very special. I can't wait to bring him on here and have him introduce himself to you guys.
What's up, Kings fans? This is Cole McConathy, edge rusher.
Cole, man, thank you so much for taking the time to jump on here and let fans get a little more familiar with you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all, man. Well, I always like to start off with, just the basics, kind of what's your current height and weight right now?
I'm 6'5", 6'6", 230.
Okay. And what's a comfortable playing weight for you?
I definitely can add weight for sure. I can see myself getting up to, anywhere from 245, 250, 255. That's easy for me to put on by the end of freshman season, or getting into freshman year.
Yeah, gotcha. So before this last, your senior season in high school, before that season started, and you were doing your preseason workouts like you do every offseason,
Yeah.
Did you see that preseason work translate on your film for your senior season? Did that work
Oh,
really start to show up a lot for you?
definitely, yes. That's the reason why you work in the off season and
Yes, sir.
get with guys, and yeah. Just as much mental training as there is physical training. You're not just lifting a lot of weights and trying to get muscle bound, but you're studying constantly what you did last year and what you did wrong and how you can improve on it, and working on your weaknesses and strengthening your strengths.
What were some of those things that you worked on that you really felt kind of took your game to that next level?
Yeah, so I would say last season, I struggled a lot with, getting chipped and getting, having a tight end, running back,
Yeah.
tackle on you, or guard coming back and blocking you too. I wasn't making as many plays as I wanted to when those types of situations would occur. So I had to work and work on that and work on making plays, knowing that you are going to get chipped and you are going to get people are going to count for you. Learn how to deal with it and make plays doing it.
Do you work with any specific trainers?
Yeah, well, my dad's taught me a lot growing up. He played ball.
Yeah.
I'm originally from West Monroe, Louisiana. So grew up over there. That was where he grew up, and he's he's played at a high level. He had a chance to play in the NFL for a minute, and I'm not going to speak too much, but he's done a lot in his time, and I've been very fortunate to have him as a father and teach me a lot along the way, and just having him in my corner, and also a guy named Wallace Gilberry, who, as I moved to Alabama, he's helped me out a lot. He played at the University of Alabama, played in the NFL for 8 years, 10 years, however long. He's helped me out a lot, and just by having, there's been workouts with him, just, early mornings, late nights with him, and he's just helped me out a lot and not asked for anything in return. So you got to give credit to both of them.
Sounds like you got two really good guys that you can go to when you need help or any assistance or anything like that, especially in home too. That's always great to have in home.
Oh yeah, yep.
So Cole, what do you feel your current strengths are on the field? Where do you excel? What should Miami fans be excited about seeing from Cole?
I'd have to say, like, strengths of the game or what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, where do you
I'd have
excel
to
on the field?
say
Yeah.
my getting off the ball, and just being able to bend.
That's one of the things I noticed is that when you get around the corner and you bend, you don't lose your athleticism. You don't lose your speed really. You don't lose your quickness. You don't lose that initial burst. Is that a lot of flexibility training? Or are you naturally kind of one of those guys who's a little bit flexible?
Well, I mean, just like with anything, it takes practice, takes a lot of work. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely work on that. That's not something that just naturally happens. It's been a lot of hours of work behind it for sure.
I'm one of those guys who's naturally stiff, like I could barely ever touch my toes no matter what sport I
Yeah.
play in, bro. So like I understand that whole process. Some guys had it a lot easier than I had it. It always drove me nuts. Is there anything you're focusing on in the weight room this off season?
Yeah, I mean, just getting strong, bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
That's every off season. But yeah, definitely trying to get bigger, faster, stronger, and all at the same time.
Is there a specific I mean, is this a lot of a core workout for you, or you mean you just doing, head to toe type of stuff, I mean, everything from burst to everything?
Yeah, so the guy I'm training with right now, his name's Rich Myers
Uh,
over in Daphne, Alabama. He's, I mean, it's kind of he's helped guys. He's helped develop guys for the draft and all different types of guys. Some that like Daniel Jones, he got him
yeah.
ready, and a couple quarterbacks and defense players here and there. He trains Wallace Gilberry's cousin. His name's Ryan Anderson. He played at Alabama, and he trains a lot of guys in the area that either went to school at Alabama, but he definitely helps me out a lot with training and getting me right. So today we did it like a leg workout, and then it's always has some explosiveness too behind it and core workout. So it's a mixture of everything really.
It's great, man. That's great. So how'd this last season go for you and your team? Kinda give me just walk me through it a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I'd say it didn't really turn out the way that we wanted to. Speaking on behalf of the whole team, I mean, I know that we wanted to go farther in the playoffs, but I'm proud of them. I mean, we had a lot of young dudes. Had a first year starter at quarterback, and uh, we're very young on offense. Very young. I mean, we played Bobby's team over in Theodore, who's committed to University of Miami as well. I thought we were about to lose 3-2 to those guys, man. I mean, that was score at halftime, and ended up being 9-3. We won that game, so
Man, that's
that
bad.
was a weird game. We had a lot of games like that on defense and playing teams, but we got better. I'd say we definitely got better throughout the years and played very hard.
What kinda stats did you put up this last season?
I'd have to look. I'd have to look back, but I finished. I'm pretty sure I finished with like 24 and a half sacks. I don't know how many TFLs. I'm probably finished right at like 110 plus total tackles, but
Wow.
I don't know how many TFLs. Probably 35, maybe 35 plus. I'm not real sure on that. I was really focused on having more forced fumbles. I didn't have as many forced fumbles as I wanted to last year as I did this year. So I was proud of having more forced fumbles, getting to the quarterback,
Yeah.
and making them pay, making it cost.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to get in the backfield and cause havoc. It's a whole 'nother thing when you're getting back there and you're getting the ball loose and you're giving your team an opportunity to score. I mean, you know how big of a
Yeah,
game changer that can be. So, I mean,
for
the fact
sure.
that, you took the mental side of it to add to the physical side of it, to bring that to your game to knowingly go after and strip the ball like that, dude, that's the part of the high IQ that I mentioned earlier when I see your film, man. That's part of it, dude. I see these things in you and it's impressive, man. It truly is.
I appreciate that.
No problem, man. No problem at all. Who is your guys' biggest rival high school?
I mean, it used to be, most people that used to go to Spanish Fort and everything, they'd say Daphne,
Mm,
right across right across I-10. But I'd have to say Saraland over these last couple of years, and they've beaten us. I mean, we never beat them. We beat them my freshman year, and we beat them twice that year. Beat them to go to state, and then we hadn't beat them in the past 3 years, and it's been stinging, you know. But
Mhm.
they're really good. Not only do they have, you know, they had Mr. Football, but they got a quarterback that can get him the ball. So, and they got an elite defense. So I think that's what makes them really good.
So when you're looking up at some of these, elite NCAA edge guys and elite edge guys, in the NFL, what are some of the traits do you believe that it takes mentally and physically to get to that elite level?
You know, first off, I think that you got to be blessed. You got to be
Yes, sir.
blessed by God, and
Yes,
I
sir.
got to thank Jesus Christ for my talents. And I mean, that's first and foremost. All those guys are extremely blessed and touched by God to be able to play at that level. But it takes a tremendous amount of work and work ethic to get to there, and just, you know, it's a weird combination. You know, being a edge rusher. You know, it kind of wasn't always a position, and you're constantly being told like you could play tight end, or I mean, I used to always play quarterback and outside linebacker growing up, but it's a weird body type, like long, lanky,
Yeah.
twitchy, and I mean, it's just an odd combination. So having all those is pretty rare.
It's become the new look at the edge now in the NFL and the NCAA and in high school now too. It's that twitchy, longer, leaner kind of thing is what they're looking for now instead of that bull rush, pure power kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So Cole, man, I'm curious. What gets you most excited on game day? Is it a pregame thing where you're getting in the zone? Is something happen during games that get you excited? What really gets you pumped up?
I mean, it's football is so much fun. I mean, I enjoy playing it. I mean, even without you took money out. I mean, if I just got to go play football and I'm good, I can just have a place to live and eat. I mean, I'd love doing it. So I love playing the game. It's like strapping up and going to war almost. But I mean, I love it. It's so much fun to go out there and play, especially with guys that you have put in a lot of work with and
Yeah.
blood, sweat, and tears. And I mean, you're spending, especially in college, I know that, I mean, you're spending so much time with those dudes, more time than anyone else. So, I mean, that's what makes it so much fun.
Man, Cole, I love that answer, bro. Honestly, I love that answer, man. Canes fans, we are getting a warrior right here. I'll tell you what, we're getting a warrior. Walks the walk and talks the talk. Describe your game to somebody who's never seen your film. If somebody walked up to you and they were curious and they said they'd never seen you live, never seen your film, how would you describe that game, your game to them?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to describe I would want them to think like, you know, I don't want to play against him. I don't want to play against him. That's a bad dude. You know, I wouldn't want to sit here and describe my game. I'd want people to think that I try and put that out there on tape. Like
That's fair.
I'm coming to take over a ball game. So,
Dude, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. You want your actions to speak for you.
oh, for sure, yeah,
Dude, I have no problem with that whatsoever. That's an awesome answer. In terms of high school legacy, you know, when the last snap comes and everything's all over with, what did you want to be known for, man? I mean, I know you're a hard worker and all that stuff,
yeah.
but the brotherhood, the passion, what did you want to really be known for when you were done with all that?
You know, I never really was. I never kind of thought about it like that. I was always trying to, you know, get to the. My goal was to dominate high school, then
Yeah,
dominate college, and dominate the NFL. So that's what I've always been taught growing up, and you know, just dominating the next level. I wanted my high school performance to just be dominant. So I mean, I wanted people to know me as being dominant.
man, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a simple answer and it's a complete answer. That's an awesome answer. Who are some of your favorite players? It can be NCAA, NFL. Who are some of the guys you like to look up to? Maybe add a little bit of their game to your game.
Yeah. Well, the I mean, I loved watching like Lawrence Taylor's highlights, some of the
Yeah,
goats like that. But like right now, I like watching T.J. Watt. I like watching Micah Parsons. I really like watching Max Crosby.
yeah.
I think he plays with a very high motor, and guys like that, guys that are leading I mean, all those guys are leading the NFL in sacks. Miles Garrett. I mean, Miles Garrett's got it all. Just like you talked
Yeah.
about. I mean, he's very twitchy and then very strong as well. So he can hit tackles with a lot of different moves.
So this recruiting process that you went through before you made your commitment to Miami, did you enjoy the recruiting process? Was that something that was
No, I
enjoyable?
didn't.
No, you didn't. Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, uh, it was different. It was different than I thought it would be. I mean, I'm not saying no, I didn't, but I mean, I was very blessed to go
Yes.
through it, and it was a blessing. But there's a lot of work. People don't think that recruiting and has a lot of work on being a high school kid and everything. It's a lot to balance, and having like 20 plus phone calls a day. I did not like doing that. I mean, there's a lot of phone calls I just would not take sometimes, and uh, it was a lot like stepping out of class, and I got a lot of stories with that, with being recruited and everything. But it was definitely a lot.
It's got to be a lot to handle, and it's something that really isn't spoken a lot about. Well, fans understand that yes, a player will get 20 or 30 offers. They don't quite honestly understand what that entails all the time. I mean, when you've got 20 schools that are actively pushing for you,
Yeah,
it makes a whole difference in your day. You already know that phone is you got to be close to it, and you want to answer the right calls. And like you said, sometimes you want to not answer some calls, but I mean, I can understand where it can get a little overwhelming. Truly.
no, yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, just having to go visit the Miami game. I had to go like turn around after I just got done playing a game and get up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, catch a flight,
Yeah.
be down there. But I mean, I love that visit. I really, the reason why I committed to them, ended up signing with them, and just their attention to detail and how hungry that staff is. And I mean, that was what really stood out to me.
And that's actually what I was going to ask you. You saying the recruiting process, had its ups and its downs, kind of for you, but
Yes.
that Miami commitment, what did they do that was a little bit different than everybody else that really made you say, "Hey, Miami's the school for me"?
Well, yeah, you get tired of seeing everybody's weight room and all their flashy. Yeah, I mean everybody's got nice stuff. You
Yep.
go everywhere and it's maybe a little different, but not really. I mean everybody has nice things and they all flash it, but Miami was just really really focused and showed a lot. I mean I've been everywhere too. I mean I've been and visited Alabama. I've been all over the country and Auburn, Tennessee, I mean all the SEC schools and stuff. But I mean Miami's staff was just very hungry, and they showed a lot of attention to detail, and just the school. The school was really nice too, not to mention and being a very good school as well. Just to add on to it, and having a chance to compete for a national championship.
I got 3 words for you, and I wanna know what they mean to you now that you're a Miami Hurricanes commit and that it's official.
All right,
Miami Hurricanes football. What do those 3 words mean to Cole?
I say swag. That's definitely up there. Swag, dominance, and just I mean business. I mean those guys just in the past went out there and took care of business, and like there was nothing to it. I mean, and they have a lot of those dudes on staff too that constantly remind you, like you playing for the U, man. Come on, like this ain't cutting it. So definitely. I mean, I could give plenty more words to that, but uh, definitely those just dominance, man. They went out there and and played.
Love that, man. I love that. At this point in the interview, what I like to do is I like to give recruits, commits, whoever's on here with me doing the interview, I like to give them a chance to show some love to people who've helped them out either on or off the field. So whoever's, shown you some love along the way, whoever's helped you as a trainer, parents, anybody you want to show some love to, feel free to.
Yeah, I'd say my whole family. They've always been there for me, no matter what. I got two younger brothers that have supported me and to the fullest, and my family, like I said, with the recruiting trail and everything. I mean, have always just made a way.
Yep.
Like if it was a school that I wanted to go to and it was difficult, they made a way and made some adjustments and did whatever it took to get me, or having my grandmother stay with them, whatever it took. They made a way for that to happen. I mean, I was never never left out in the dry with that. So I mean, my family's been so supportive and helped me out along the way throughout this, and there's plenty of other people that helped. I mean, me standing here and getting to sign with the University of Miami, that was not done alone, and I'd be lying if I said it was. I mean, it took a lot of people being in my corner and helping me out. I mean, just like I mentioned, Wallace Gilberry, guys like that,
Yeah.
just have shown me a lot of love. And also, I'd like to thank people that have doubted me and just shown me a lot of hate too. I mean, that's helped a lot, whether or not they know it too.
Man, that'll put a chip on someone's shoulder real
Yeah,
quick.
no doubt.
Where can the good people find you on social media? Go ahead and plug your social media accounts.
You can find me like at Cole McConathy on X, and then Cole underscore McConathy on Instagram, and that's really the only two I'm on. I don't really have anything else.
Okay. Okay. Well, man, I know it's getting late over there. I got one last
Yep.
question for you, Cole. It's the question I ask everybody I bring on this show, man. ADs from high schools, players, NFL players, retired players, coaches, everybody gets the same last question, man. Why do you love the game of football? Where do you get that passion to go out and compete at such a high basis on every single week, basically?
Well, I'd have to go back to earlier. It's just fun. It's just competing. It's another. No, I don't really care if. I mean, not to say I don't love football, but it's another chance to compete. I don't care if you're rolling out checkers or whatever. I mean, you want to win. That's
Yeah.
the goal. You're there to win ball games. So another chance to win and do it at a high level. I mean, you're not there to lose games. I don't care what anybody tells you. Another chance to win.
Well, bro, I will describe you as a humble beast. Honestly, you are a humble beast. You show it on the film, but the way you speak and the way you act, man, I really see that respect that you have for others that have helped you along the way and that circle that you've kept. And that's important, bro. That's truly important, man. And I'm glad that a young man like you sees the value in that already.
Thank you.
Well, Cole, man, I just want to thank you for joining me tonight for this interview to let Canes fans get a little more familiar with you. Like I said before we started this show, man, when we were speaking earlier, I'm excited as hell to have you at the U, man. Welcome to the University of Miami, Cole. Welcome.
Thank you, man. It means a lot. Thank you.
Can't wait to see you on the field, man. You have yourself a good night. We'll stay in touch and we'll talk soon. Sound good?
All right, yeah, man. Sounds great.
All right. You have yourself a good night, Cole.
You too.
All right, guys, that was one of the most underrated players in his entire class, in my opinion, honestly, in the 2024 class in general, period. The stats that he put up in high school, the production he put up, it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't a joke. This was hard work, athleticism, and God-given ability, like he mentioned. But without the hard work, none of this stuff happens. And Cole is, like I said, I refer to him as a humble beast. After meeting him and speaking with him now, um, you can't help but know that he's a beast on the field. but he is a very humble individual, and I admire that about him, and especially in a young man, who's coming up like he is, and who had got some of the major accolades and stuff. Like I said, I do believe that he actually got the most sacks of all time in high school in the state of Alabama. So I mean, for a kid like that to be as humble as he is with it and moving forward and just saying, I just want to work, I just want to work, I just want to get better, man, that's what I wanted the U. Well, thank you guys for joining us so much for another uh interview. This was a commit interview this time. Normally we do our recruit interviews, but this was a commit interview. But man, thank you guys for joining us for RNG commit interview tonight. We'll have another one coming up for you soon. And you guys have a great and safe holidays.